right, it's Daybreak on Arise News, and it's time for the press preview. First look at what's on the front pages of the papers. And like we usually do on Daybreak, we started our sister publication, This Day newspaper. And of course, you can see it boldly there in front of This Day newspaper. It says, Buhari, we have delivered on all our campaign promises. He had some riders there. It says that Jaukuta Steel Complex ready for concession, has gulped over $400 million. Inaugurates reference hospital, 5 other projects executed by the Kogi governor, Yahya Bello. Then on top of that story, Buhari world leaders mourn as football legend Pelé dies at 82. He was the only one to win 3 World Cups. And then just above the nameplate, President Jonathan Wadjibiamila, Atiku, Obi, Tinubu, Okowa, mourn late Ohaneze Ndibo leader Obiozo. And then, of course, at the topmast of the paper, court bars DSS from inviting, arresting, detaining, prosecuting MFLA, the CBN governor. And just before we leave this day, just by the side of that picture, in white, cracks widening among G5 governors over choice of presidential candidate. You can find that story on page 10. All right, let's go to some other newspapers. That was this day. Let's look at what some other newspapers are saying. Just give me a moment there. All right, The Sun. I am not perturbed, The Sun newspaper, I am not perturbed by G5 governors' plots. This is coming from Atiku. As PDP says, no decision yet on sanction against Wike, others. And just below that picture, alleged terrorism. More drama as court bars DSS, IGP from arresting AMFLA. Omobolanle killing. Police will work with Lagos Attorney General to prosecute culprits. This is coming from the IGP. Ekiti Election Tribunal upholds Oyebanji's victory. And then just by the Daily Sun named logo, Reign of Tears for Obiozo as Amichi's burial holds February 16. All right, let's go to the next paper, The Guardian. Let's look at what The Guardian is saying. Banks face angry customers as network glitches mar holidays. Some of the riders there, Yuletide tests resilience of e-payment infrastructure. Financial institutions pay over 3 billion naira claims in 6 months. And subscribers decry persistent drop calls, undelivered SMS illegal deductions. The picture there, Buhari and Xi Jinping, US, Europe, China in race, renewed scramble for continent's attention. So Africa has now become the bride, beautiful bride. All right, these stories, we have it on the other papers. Let's go to the next paper, which is The Nation newspaper. The Nation newspaper. All right, G5 governor's position puts Atiku in tighter corner. It has 2 riders. Why PDP candidate can't seek elders' intervention, don't sanction Wike, others. And Buhari lots Bello there in that picture. Okay, on the topmast, Lagos names preferred bidders for 4th mainland bridge. And this is, well, let me use the word interesting. 30 billion naira for senators' reps severance package in 2023 budget. Football legend Pelé dies aged 82. Defend yourselves against bandits, says Governor. Abiodun signing a budget there. All right. Then Punch newspaper before we go to the international papers. Aggrieved PDP governors demand Tinubu support in 5 states. Now let's read the riders. PDP governors concerned about political careers seek assurance from Tinubu. Ex-Lagos governor to brief party. Akeredolu insists Southerner must succeed Buhari. G5 governors visit Ekweremadu in prison. Return from UK today. World mourns as Pelé dies at 82. And then COVID-19 surge. FG rules out restricting travelers from China. And that will be it for Punch. Now let's look at some of the international newspapers. We look at Independent. Independent as a bold picture of Pelé. The background black, dark because it's gone. Pelé 1940 to 2022. Mental health crisis is now parallel pandemic. I newspaper. Police recruits Quick Johnson's hiring scheme in droves. Again, in that picture, tributes to a magician. That's what the I paper calls Pelé, 1940 to 2022. The Daily Telegraph, the same picture there, Pelé being carried, I think that's Garincha, number 7, if I remember correctly. Ministers to look at new COVID travel curbs. Teachers urge government to intervene over AISA chat box. See positives of UK history too, says outgoing heritage chief. And Financial Times, let's go Financial Times before we bring in Emmanuel Bello to preview these papers. All right, sharp plunge in global deal making brings pandemic era frenzy to a halt. All right, we now bring in Emmanuel Bello. Emmanuel, good morning to you. TGF, they always say. Thank God.
Friday, yes.
It's a Friday.
Still in the holiday mode, actually.
Yeah, it will still be till maybe after the 1st of January.
Yes.
Because people will still be. All right, let's look at this day paper. Some interesting stories. First off, Buhari, we have delivered on all our campaign promises, says Ajakuta, cost $400 million. And then, of course, Buhari world leaders mourn as football legend Pelé dies at 82. Then, of course, Tribunal Tony, your petition fails woefully, upholds Oyebanji's election. Then there's the story of court barring DSS from either inviting, arresting, or detaining the central bank governor, MFL. And of course, you cannot rule out the crack. The way this day puts it, says cracks widen among G5 governors over choice of presidential candidate. Emma, what's your thinking on these stories that I just highlighted?
Well, I think for this day, were it not for that punchy statement from the president that they've delivered on all their campaign promises, maybe the crack in the G5 would have been the biggest story of the day, because a lot of people are reporting on that. But we have it on the front page of this day, and as a matter of fact, leading one or two other newspapers because of the drama around those London meetings and this particular London meet. But yes, to the big story in this day, where Buhari beat his chest, was once again saying that they've delivered on all campaign promises. This one that I'm sure the opposition would like to jump on and ask the relevant question and say which of the promises exactly Buhari had around on a three-legged kind of a position of security, corruption, anti-corruption war, and the economy. On which, so which of these will he say that everything has been tied up? It's interesting to readers. I'm sure a lot of people will be weighing on this to ask themselves those questions on how much he has actually delivered on all his promises. And some people will be saying that Buhari at this point should be a bit more sober and realistic and talk about the facts, the things that they couldn't do and the promises they couldn't keep and all of that. But of course, it's election season, and in this presidential cycle, his party is seeking re-election, and probably he needs to say things like this to show off the image of the party. And he was in Kogi State, where the governor also tried running for president recently, Yaya Bello, and commending him. In some newspapers today, you have him and the governor, standing there and with the president. I think there's been this kind of there's been speculation on their kind of relationship, which a lot of people say is like a father and son relationship. So he must have been really proud of him. At one time, people thinking that he might even tip him for the president to take over from him. That was all before, of course, the APC had its convention. Everyone was wrong. But he was there yesterday and, saying great things. That's what you say when to your hosts when you're actually commissioning things. And for me, another big thing that came from that is the Ajakuta Steel Complex. A lot of story around that steel complex, and the president is right. It holds all the promises for development. I mean, all industrial revolution probably started with such kind of projects, the steel rolling mills. If we can get that right, apart from the 500,000 jobs that the president is envisioning, it holds a lot of promise. And it was actually one of the curses of this country that
over the
years, you know, nothing, you know, spoke of our negligence as a country and the crisis of Nigeria as a country, apart from the crisis of energy, light, and the rest, than that particular one. And it's a good thing that this administration actually focused on it, and it's giving us a bit of you know, good news that they've spent a lot of money, and that it's before he runs off on his administration, maybe a new project managers will be on it to revive that project. I think it's a moribund project, but one that if you bring back to life, will really maybe tease, if not tease, start off the industrial revolution that we seek.
All right. You didn't treat the story of Emefiele and Pele dying at 82.
Pele is huge story. I mean, at the international, I thought we'll come down to that one. Look, we're looking at the international papers, because I mean that seems to be the lead. But not all of us remember 1970 when you know he at the World Cup, when there's a picture in one of the you know, international papers where
I think I remember.
Yes, where. I don't know where you would be in 1970.
I remember,
yeah,
I remember.
But
because
Pele,
I say he's the best footballer in the world. Yeah, where people who watch football now don't know what Pele was.
Yeah, exactly, because there isn't much of, you know, footages of Pele playing. You know, the generation probably that we're talking to right now will remember Messi, and Ronaldo, so this one, and even Maradona. Those are the kind of people that you know. A lot of people will not remember Pele, but he transcends football. You know, he's the last of the Mohicans, clearly, and no matter how you look at it, whether it is culture, football, international relationship, everything, Pele is right there and is symbolic of the greatness, not only of the sports, but of, you know, the greatness of an individual, and the fact that he's coming from Brazil, a country. It's a black man from Brazil, a country that is seen as the last country to even abolish slavery. And then, of course, to have him break all those stereotypes, break the glass ceiling, and become a world icon the way he is, I think the tributes that are pouring in all over the world are just worth it.
All right, let's just take two papers in our stride, because we don't have all the time in the world. The Sun Daily: I'm not perturbed by G5 governors' plots. That's coming from Atiku. Then if you go to The Nation, it says G5 governors' position puts Atiku in tighter corner, while PDP candidate can't even seek intervention from elders and don't sanction Wike and others, because there was this talk of sanctioning. You take those two reasons. Yeah, well, it's a whole package, and I think every paper is trying to deal with the crisis of the London meeting in a way, while others are seeing a crack, like these days reporting that there's a crack, basically because of those reports that the governors couldn't agree on who to back. 3 are saying Tinubu, 2 are saying that's the news making the round.
Yes, but what is clear from all indication is that they are not supporting Atiku. And Atiku is saying that he's not perturbed. That's the lead story of the Sun newspaper. Like, I'm not perturbed at all about that. That's because a lot of people think that this whole thing about the G5 could backfire. I think the Atiku camp, the PDP camp, are hoping that, well, they say the devil is in the details, that some of these decisions could backfire at, you know, the micro levels of this decision back in the states. For instance, in your state, the crisis of Makinde, who is from the PDP, seeking support from a Tinubu, and the party has got a candidate in the race. It is those kind of things, those kind of internal contradictions in this state that I think the PDP is trying to take advantage of, which is why maybe Atiku is saying that, look, I'm not perturbed, because maybe they have backyard or other means of getting to these states apart from the governor. So it's not, and this governor themselves, in one of the stories, saying that they need Tinubu's assurance.
That's why I wanted to go to your point. She says PDP governors concerned about political career seek assurance from Tinubu. I don't understand what that means.
No, well, they should be worried because if some of them, apart from having a dog in the race, for instance, Otom has got someone that he wants to put forward as a governor. Rivers State governor is not running for Senate, but he's got Fubara there he wants to take over from him. It is those kind of things. The contradiction is how you tell your people not to go for the presidential candidate of a party, but to settle on certain candidates, maybe at the state level. A lot of people think that could backfire, especially when the people, the mixed messages. Already, people are reacting. People are saying that, okay, this is taking us for granted. If you're asking us to do, not to do this presidential candidate, but to do this other person. In the past, you have a situation where if you're going to campaign for any governor, you also have to campaign for the presidential candidate. But these governors are not going to do that. And the stories are right when they say they need some kind of, support from Tinubu, some kind of assurance that their own personal ambition, whether it is they as a person, some of them running for Senate, or those of them who want to bring in their candidates to take over from them.
All right.
Some people believe this is going to actually resonate badly for them at the state levels.
Deal time, you would say. Thank you so much, Emmanuel Bello there with a press preview. All right. Let's hear your view on all the burning issues. Follow us on Twitter at Arise TV. You can join today's conversation using the hashtag Arise Day Break.